We are created with purpose. The world is not an accident, and you are not an accident. God is purposeful with everything He creates. Frequently we read in Genesis that God said, "It is good" about what He creates, and this includes you and I. Psalm 139:13 and 14 says, "For you formed my inward parts. You knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made." Today, your family will learn that each of us is well made, specifically and intentionally by God. We are not merely the results of a chance set of circumstances or an unguided natural process. God makes us who we are, and each of us is uniquely and wonderfully made by Him. This will be an important truth for your children when they feel lonely. It was very helpful for me as a child to know this whenever I felt lonely. God made me, and He knows me, and He loves me, and He is with me. Now you may be asking, what about physical deformities or mental illness? If God is such a good creator, then why did He create people this way? The Bible gives a number of answers to that important question, the biggest of which we will discover on days 3 and 4. The short answer is that sin has corrupted God's creation and has fundamentally distorted us. Despite what some people think, God is not mean or reckless or careless when He creates. Everything He makes out of love, and everything He makes is beautiful. Sin, however, has distorted God's beautiful creation, which has led to many abnormalities like sickness and death. This is an important truth to know if we are to be honest about when we teach our children that they are well made, without denying pain and disabilities. I encourage you to read ahead and learn what we will be talking about on days 3 and 4. The second important topic your family will learn about on day 1 is that God created gender. Genesis 1:27 teaches us that God created humans as male and female, and that our genders are important to Him. We must not think that gender isn't important, or that one gender matters more to God than the other. We see that God intended that His image be fully displayed in mankind through the deliberate creation of 2 genders, not a single gender. And we will only reflect God's image properly if males and females celebrate both what makes us unique and what we share in common. May God bless you in this. Third, we learn on day 1 that God said to Adam and Eve, "Be fruitful and multiply." In the Bible, being fruitful and multiplying most often refers to having many children. God loves children, and a big family is a fruitful family. Psalm 127:4 says, "Like arrows in the hands of a warrior are children born in one's youth." This is your chance to share with your children that God never sees them as a burden. God created childhood and blesses children. In fact, Jesus said, "Let the little children come unto me, for to such as these belong the kingdom of heaven." And that what He wants from each of us is faith like a child. God bless you today as you celebrate and lift up God's creation of childhood and family. Lastly, we see on day 1 that God commanded Adam and Eve to subdue the earth. A good ruler makes their kingdom fruitful through care and attention and hard work. I encourage you to use this day to teach your children that God created work and has at least one special job for everyone to do, which is to rule over His creation with care and attention in order to make it fruitful. One final note about the environment. When we teach our children about caring for the environment, it's important to make the distinction that the environment is not God, nor is it a person. We must be careful never to detach the caring of the environment from the worship to God. The Bible warns us in Romans 1 that some people neglect God and worship the environment instead. Let's teach our children that the most important reason we care for the environment is because God has asked us to, and that we do it because we want to worship Him. God bless you and your family today on day 1, and I'll see you again on day 2.